What is going on, guys? Bam Deadstroke here with the game that I played last night against Esper Tempo. Let's go ahead and slow this down a little bit. So, don't know if you guys caught that. Mulled to 5. Kept a pretty solid hand. Menace Speaker here on turn 1, attacking in for 2 on turn 2. Second main phase, we went ahead and played the Silvergill Adept, revealing Q-Mena. Drew into a Jade Bear, hoping to hit that third land drop here on turn 3. Opponent plays a Watery Grave. Tapped, so at this point I was kind of assuming Esper. We draw one of our better draws that's not a land, and by better draws I mean our best draw that's not a land, in Merfolk Mistbinder. Able to swing in here for 6 on turn 3. Opponent has no answer so far. Goes to turn 3, plays a Glacial Fortress. Goes ahead and plays the Deputy of Detention here, targeting our Mistbinder, which is quite unfortunate for us. Taking away our biggest threat there was big for them. We do hit the third mana eventually, our third land. We end up playing Hadana's Climb over Q-Mena here. Mostly so that we could attack, and I accidentally skipped through our attack, so I thought it was going to be one of those kind of games. Not attacking there was a really big mistake. Our opponent punishes us with a Hero of Precinct 1, so we draw into Deep-Root Elite, which we immediately play, especially with our Jade Bear here, to put more counters everywhere. So we'll get our Jade Bear and Deep-Root Elite triggers. We target Silvergill and Menace Speaker with those. And then with our Hadana's Climb trigger at the beginning of combat, we decide to target our Silvergill Adept, not flipping Hadana's Climb right away, because getting our Silvergill Adept past 3 power was really important. So this time we do not skip through our attack. We go ahead and attack with both. Now, our opponent could double block the Silvergill to kill it, but that would give us back our Mistbinder, and they would lose both of our creatures. So they just decide to take 8 and go to 4, which I thought was a really interesting decision. Really putting a lot of faith and value in that hero-deputy combo. Here on turn 5, they play a Seraph of the Scales, which really got me worried, giving them not only the 4/3 flyer, but also the 1/1 off of Hero of Precinct 1. But then they do something really interesting, which is they decide to attack with the hero, which I thought was really interesting. Obviously not going to double block to kill it. Going to 18 in this sort of matchup, no problem with that. We end up drawing a forest. And then we decide to go ahead and play Q-Mena, putting a counter on the Deep-Root Elite, making it a 2/2. We're deciding to spread around the counters here. And we put another counter here on the Deep-Root Elite. Go ahead and swing with everything. So we're attacking for 11 here. Our opponent could block all 3 to stay alive, but they just decided to scoop it up here. Our opponent could have chumped and then traded with the Q-Mena Speaker to get the Seraph tokens to give them the 2 1/1s, which I probably would have done. I probably would have chumped the Deep-Root Elite here. Or I guess they could have just avoided the Deep-Root Elite, gone to 1, blocked the Silvergill with the human, blocked the Q-Mena Speaker with the Seraph. Would have left them with 4 creatures still, as well as the Deputy and the Hero of Precinct 1. So our opponent had 4 cards in hand. We don't know what was in their hand, though. So kind of hard to tell what would have been done, but I probably would have chumped the Silvergill and then traded with the Q-Mena Speaker to get those 2 tokens. Heading on to game 2. So we're up 1-0 here. We kept a 5 in the last time. We mulliganed to 5. We keep a really solid 7 here. Our opponent leads on Watery Grave. We'll go ahead and lead with a Benthic Biomancer on turn 1. Our opponent plays Drowned Catacomb into Discovery, which really good card for them. We decided to play the Benthic Biomancer here, or not Benthic Biomancer, the Merfolk Mistbinder here. We attack for 2, bring our opponent to 18. So next turn we can either Cumena or Hadana's Climb, or if we draw 1-drop, we could Mistbinder plus the 1-drop. And our opponent drops a Hero Precinct 1 here. We draw Deep-Root Elite, which is a really interesting card for us to draw, because we could play it to get down another threat. But we decided to go with the Mistbinder first. That way we could attack with both of our creatures and get both of them through the hero, which is exactly what we do. We decide to attack with both. Our opponent has nothing, so they take 6. Going down to 12. Our opponent plays a 4th land, goes for the Dovin, which, you know, really good to see Dovin seeing play. I didn't think it was going to be that good in Standard. But our opponent makes a Thopter to give them a 3rd blocker. Again, we draw Hadana's Climb, missing our 3rd land, or 4th land, excuse me. We decide to play the Hadana's Climb, put the counter on the Biomancer to draw a discard. We draw a Dive Down, decide to get rid of the 2nd Hadana's Climb, and at this point we probably should have just kept out the all-out attack going, but we just decide to, swing in with the Biomancer, get rid of one of their tokens. All of this is going at their face, by the way. Didn't attack Dovin at all. Our opponent gets down the 5th land, mortifies our Hadana's Climb, which made me sad, as it should make everyone sad. Our opponent debated attacking in with a Thopter, but didn't. So we move on to turn 5. We play our Hinterland Harbor that we just drew. And we go for Cumena here, as opposed to the Deep Elite, because to be more mana efficient, we play the Cumena just to leave up Dive Down. This time we decide to attack in with everything, knowing that we've got Dive Down backup, and we've got our 4th threat in Cumena on the battlefield. Our opponent goes to triple block our Mistbinder, and this part I actually really punted, because I thought that these were just going to trade with all 3, and then we were going to be able to kill the Hero of Precinct 1. So I thought that we were just going to wipe their board, and we weren't going to really lose. We were just going to lose the 1 Mistbinder. I should have targeted this Mistbinder here with the Dive Down, but instead I forgot that it was getting pumped by the other Mistbinder, and so they both died, and I was really confused for a second, and then all of a sudden it hit me. So we've got Cumena and Biomancer here left on board, and then our opponent plays Scary Lyra Dawnbringer, and at this point our opponent's sitting at 8 life with a 5/5 flying first strike angel with lifelink. I'm not feeling super great, especially because we haven't killed Dovin yet. So we end up drawing the Deep-Root Elite, and we just decide to slam both Deep-Root Elites here. Putting a bunch of counters, or putting our lone counter here on Cumena. We decide to tap down our Summoning Sick Deep-Root Elite to give our Cumena unblockable. And again, we could have killed Dovin here, but we decided to go face, which, let me know if you would have killed the Dovin instead. I thought that was kind of interesting. Lyra doesn't have Vigilance here, and despite the attack bringing them back up to 10 because it has lifelink, I really thought that attacking with Lyra here was a little interesting. So they go up to 11 using Dovin's -1 to make a Thopter, and then they play a second Lyra here. Which I thought was a little interesting. They sacrifice their tapped Lyra. We draw into Silvergill Adept, which we will happily play to hopefully draw us into some more stuff. We get double counters, and our opponent just concedes. I don't really know. Our opponent must not have had anything left. We were going to target Cumena with one of the counters, and then probably just Cumena again. Cumena would have then been a 5/7. Which would have been able to take down Lyra despite the first strike. We could have also made it unblockable if we wanted to, but our opponent just conceded, so I don't know what we would have drawn, don't know what our opponent had in hand, but we took down Esper Tempo 2-0, which I was very, very excited for. So yeah, Merfolk is legit, guys. Be looking forward to that competitive league coming out soon. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. YouTube has not been sending out notifications, so make sure you click the bell to get notified whenever I upload a video. And also be sure to check the description to follow me on Twitter at BamDeadstroke. I will be tweeting out whenever I upload a video. Make sure you're following to get those, and I will see you guys next time.